I would like to invite Dr. Sashikant Mishra, sir, from Odisha. He is a pediatric specialist DEIC at Capital Hospital, Bhubaneswar. Sir, I request you to take over.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
So welcome and good afternoon from the temple city of Bhubaneswar. I am Dr. Sashikant Mishra. So the topic is the linkage between the SNCU and the DIC. So before coming to the linkage part, I would tell a little bit about the RBSK program under which the DIC comes. The RBSK in Odisha, we started in 2015 May, and all of you know that this program was mainly dealt with every district of Odisha, 30 districts, and also in Bhubaneswar Capital Hospital, and also in Rourkela. There are 32 DICs were formed. So the DICs are District Early Intervention Center. They were formed as a part of the RBSK program. All of you know that this program is for these from 0 to 18 years of age. So 0 means we start from the birth up to the 18 years of age. There are 38 conditions which are included. I will be coming after a few slides. Then before that, all of you know that in the periphery, each block is having 2 mobile health teams, and each tribal block is having 3 mobile teams. One mobile team consists of 2 ICE doctors, 1 male and 1 female, 1 staff nurse or 1 ANM, and another pharmacist or a worker who is proficient in the computer handling. So, and the vehicle provided and the driver, they are outsourced. So they are responsible for identifying all those 38 conditions mentioned, the 4D approach. 4D, all the defects, birth defects, disease, deficiency, and delays. They have to identify them and they have to forward them, or they have to come to the DIC for their early identification and early intervention. So that is the motto of DIC. Now this is the letter, it is not a drug. DIC is not a drug. It is not a vaccine. We are not treating here, not giving a vaccine. It is not a device. It is a group of therapists working together, solving the problems and enhancing the capabilities. You know, there is a term called, in Sanskrit, we say, Ronang Prutam Bhrutang Pribet, Jabat Jibet Sukhin Jibet. So, a simple life is not enough. A healthy life is more required. So, that is the motto of our DIC. Then coming to the implementation part, all of you know that we do the newborn screening at the delivery point, and in the delivery points, the newborn baby is allowed to stay for 48 hours. After that, it is the responsibility of the ASAs in the peripheries, in the home-based newborn care, up to 6 weeks, and from 6 weeks up to 6 years. That is the responsibility of the Anganwadi workers, and from 6 years to 18 years in the school. So the mobile health teams, they are responsible for visiting at least twice a year these Anganwadi workers, and once a year the schools, government and the government aided schools. So, and from that, we identify all the 4D by the 4D approach, any defects coming under the 4D approach. Then they send us, they refer them to our DIC, who is the hub of all activities. It's the hub. All the activities are being confirmed here. We diagnose them, then we coordinate and converse. And if required, we refer to the higher 3-tier or the higher facilities for their treatment. Then we report and also we track, and we follow up them. So that is the part of the system of RBSK. These are the 38 conditions which are to be screened and they are managed. Most important from our SNCU and DIC linkage is the first one, the defects at birth. Here comes the neural tube defects, which is not very common. Still then we usually get it. It is around 4 to 8 per 1,000 live births. Then coming the cleft lip palate, then congenital talipes equinovarus, developmental dysplasia of the hip, then congenital cataract, congenital deafness, and congenital heart diseases and retinopathy of prematurity. These are very, very important as regards the linkage of SNSU and the DIC is concerned. And also, there are other conditions mentioned in the slide. There are the other deficiencies like vitamin A, D, and the some child management, and the some diseases or skin diseases, otitis media, and rheumatic heart disease. Most importantly, all the delays, the vision impairment, hearing impairment, motor, cognitive, and behavioral delays, learning disorder, and nonetheless the autism and the ADHD, which is very common nowadays. And besides the 30 in the optional, we are getting most cases of congenital hypothyroidism, for which now in Odisha, we are also now in the process of doing a pilot project to detect the congenital hypothyroidism and also G6PD. And in future, very soon we'll be coming with that project. So after the 38 conditions to be screened under RBSK, the mobile health team and all the staffs in the delivery point, the ASAJ, even we have oriented the ASAJ here in our capital hospital. We have oriented to 2-3 times most of the ASAJ on the pictorial aids, visual pictorial aids of this defect at birth, so that at least when they see the cases, they can refer directly to the DIC. And this is the manpower of DIC under NHM. You know, all of you know this. One pediatrician, medical officer, one dental surgeon, a physiotherapist or a occupational therapist, psychologist, optometrist, one audiologist, special educator, one social worker, laboratory technician, dental technician, and one data entry operator. Overall, to manage all of them and to look after everything, the managerial power has been given to one manager, RBSK manager, who is posted with us. And this is the most important thing. The DIC is established at each district. The purpose is mainly to manage all these 38 concerns. Most importantly, to identify the developmental delays, confirm, and to quality there and to manage. And these are the baskets of early intervention services available at DIC. Most important is the newborn screening. All of you know, the pediatrician and the medical officer, myself, every day we go to the postnatal ward, the SNSU, we always do the newborn screening. Each and every newborn baby getting delivered today even, we always go for the newborn screening from head to toe. From head to toe, even all my therapists, starting from the audiologist, the physiotherapist, the psychologist, and the special educator, they also go for this screening, newborn screening to the postnatal wards. And 100% we are doing a hearing screening, because all of you know the hearing screening, the rule of 136. The day the baby is born, by second or third day, we complete the hearing screening. If somebody is having a refer by OAE, otoacoustic emission, there is a chance of refer, then we ask them to come after 3 months. So our aim is before 6 months, we should be sure that the baby is able to see or not. Baby is able to hear or not. So the hearing must be perfect before 6 months. Otherwise, we have to give some intervention. Otherwise, we are going to leave the baby to be deaf and dumb. So before 6 months, we are completing the hearing screening, or we are providing the hearing aids. Even you can know that in Bhubaneswar, we have already sent some congenital deafness cases of 32 for cochlear implant at AIIMS Bhubaneswar up till date. Then most importantly, ROP screening. It is being continued since 2009, even before the inception of RBSK project. This ROP, all of you know, the retinopathy of prematurity. So we always identify a baby below 2 kg and below 34 weeks of gestation. And we always screen them for ROP screening every day, every Friday and Saturday. Previously, it was 2 days. Now it has come to 1 day at least. And there are dedicated ophthalmologists and my optometrist. They simultaneously screen for the ROP. And there are dedicated teams from LB Prasad Eye Institute, which is we have tied up. They also come, and in many cases, in some hundreds, they have also for immature retina, they have also given the laser treatment. So about the follow-up of SNSU discharge baby at DIC. So after getting discharged, every SNSU baby has to attend a HRC, high-risk clinic, here in our hospital each Friday. From high-risk clinic, they have to be routed through DIC. Each newborn baby discharged from SNSU to be seen by every therapist of my DIC before getting discharged. Their telephone numbers are registered with us. Any intervention required, my therapists are always there. They call them frequently, and they also remind them frequently, and they communicate them also. And the surgical correction of birth defects, all of you know, all those starting from the neural tube defect, all the clefts, lip palate, and the CTV, everything, they are being done by us from the allied hospitals, which we have been tied up. Then assessment and diagnosis, and about a delay child, it is a neurocognitive delay. My psychologist is there. She is ready to assess it, and my special educator is there, who is also treating and giving a special education. There is interdisciplinary therapeutic intervention. Most importantly, fixed a clubfoot clinic. All of you know that by 2022, Government of India has taken a vow that there should not be any clubfoot. So unfortunately, we every day, by giving a ward round in the postnatal ward, we are getting all the CTEV cases, and till now some thousands of CTEV cases we are doing by the Panseti method. There is a Panseti method by which we are giving a serial plaster cast every week on Saturdays. There are dedicated our orthopedicians and being assisted by our DIC staff, and they are doing this regularly, this Panseti method, and if required, tenotomy is also being done by our orthopedic surgeon. We are providing the aids and the appliances by digital hearing aid. There is one institute of Government of India, Ali Jabar Jung Institute in Jala, who are providing the hearing aids, and the prosthetic and orthotic aids also. There is a State Institute of Disability Rehabilitation in my campus of Capital Hospital, who are also providing the aids to us. Then we have this tie-up and linkage with different institutions as mentioned in this slide. For neural tube defect, the AIIMS Bhubaneswar, the medical colleges. Cleft lip palate, there are 6 mile-trained implant hospitals, and all the medical colleges. There is Kalinga Hospital and Baroda Hospital also. Congenital cataract, mostly in AIIMS Bhubaneswar and LB Prasad Bhubaneswar. Hearing, the Jala, which I mentioned, Ali Jabar Jung National Institute for Hearing Handicap. And a remarkable thing we have done in congenital heart disease. Congenital heart disease, we have come with so many camps, mega camps, from where we have selected the critical congenital heart diseases, even non-critical, non-cyanotic congenital heart diseases. We have tied up with Narayan Hudala and Sathya Sai Institute of Ahmedabad. And regularly our heart disease patients are being referred to Kolkata, even to Bangalore, even to Ahmedabad for their surgery. Thousands of our heart disease children, they are being benefited by this. And clubfoot, mostly it is being managed in my hospital by the Panseti method. The Cure International Trust is associated with us. They are providing the logistic, like all the shoes, the boot, or these to the babies. Then the retinopathy of prematurity, which I mentioned, we always identify and diagnose by the indirect ophthalmoscopy in my hospital, in Capital Hospital. And the LB Prasad is associated with us for giving the laser treatment to the newborn babies. And the cochlear implantation, I have already mentioned, being done at AIIMS Bhubaneswar. Till date, 32 cases have been already done. And the low vision cases, we are providing the glasses. And we have tie up with the Sight Savers International. And the other surgery cases, the medical colleges are involved. These are the comprehensive newborn screening activities in my state. You can see from the slide, the birth defects was cumulative 15,425, and and so it has been started all delivery points, and we have mentioned from the head to toe management, we have posted all those pictorial aids so that any healthcare giver, by seeing the picture also, he or she can diagnose all those. Then screening of functional birth defects, like the hearing and the ROP, and we also screen them. All the screen the essential babies also, and for inborn error of metabolism, I have already mentioned this we have not started yet. There is a possibility of a pilot project to be coming very soon. It is been approved in the PIP of 21 and 22. Very soon we are going to test for the thyroid and the G6PD, etc. These are the slides for major birth defect conditions under RBSK in our state. Neural tube defect, total identified and treated, cleft, clog foot, DDH, congenital cataract, congenital heart disease, retinopathy of prematurity. And about the linkage, now I am coming to the SNSU of my hospital. My SNSU is exactly above the us, exactly over our head. We are in the ground floor, they are in the first floor of the same building. So while coming from SNSU to DIC, they have to just come down only 15 steps, only 15 steps. So total newborn screen, we have a very good linkage with my SNSU. And there are dedicated two pediatricians, Dr. Pradhan and Dr. Swai, Alok Swai. And total newborn screened are SNSU and the delivery points. This is the slide given, and the total SNSU discharge and how many have been screened our DIC. This is the data given, and the ROP cases also identified and treated. And also these from SNSU also hearing defect also mentioned, they have been treated by the DIC also. And the newborn babies with neuromotor impairment treated by the DIC and interventions made. So role of SNSU linkage to DIC, which I have already told. I am myself as a pediatrician, my medical officer, we always give every day the postnatal ward and the SNSU. My all physio and the therapists, as mentioned, they are also giving the morning round in the SNSU. They ensure all sick children provided with correct developmental practice in the SNSU. The role of SNSU with the DIC, every newborn having an eye checkup by the optometrist also, hearing screening by the audiologist, universal hearing screening we have been following up. And before discharge, they are attending the high-risk clinic every Friday, as I told, and after that, they attend the DIC by all the therapists. And the activities at SNSU also, the same thing, the eye checkup, the hearing screening, and the examination are appropriate positioning for neuromotor impairment by the therapist is being done. This is the pictorial aid given in the book of RBSK, which helps for identifying if anybody is not sure of for these paramedical workers or the like ASAs and these ANMs like this for diagnosing a corneal opacity or a congenital cataract. And there are other things which our medical workers and our staff nurses know about the coloboma, about the ptosis or the eye defect, all those things. This is the sort of this ROP screening at SNSU. This is the ROP screening be done by the indirect ophthalmoscope. Even I have got once one exposure of while doing a laser when there were the medical officer in the SNSU were absent. So I was present to manage a newborn baby while doing a laser by the ophthalmologist. So this is the pictorial aid for knowing all the birth defects of the ear. You see that there is skin tag over the tragus of the ear. There is a anotia, there is a microtia, there is a hypoplastic ear, so many things. These are all congenital defects of the ear. These are all the same thing, same thing. So we are doing two tests. One is autoacoustic emission. All newborn babies, we are doing autoacoustic emission. It is a very nice test. And by giving a click, one message comes. Either it is written in the paper, either pass or a refer. Pass means the baby has passed the test. If it is refer, they are advised to come after 3 months for a retest. And if on 2 types test it fails, then you go for a BERA, brainstem evoked response audiometry. Then after that only, if still the baby fails, we are going to give a hearing aid. This is the newborn screening by me, myself standing on the left side, and Dr. Hota, my medical officer, is standing on the right side. And the activities at the time of discharge of children from SNC by the DI staff. Patients are, and there we are to, after they go from us, we always remind them to the family, and this is mostly done by our DIC manager. And while informing them, we always say that when we call them, that all the therapists, they are sincere in maintaining their, giving the call to their newborn babies for the intervention when they are absent, when they're not absent. So they are to be sure that they are available on the day. And up to 6 years, they address the nutrition part, the disease, deficiency, motor, vision, hearing, and speech, everything. In nutrition part, the anthropometric measurement, I always do. My medical officer always do. We take the weight and height and the mid-arm, upper circumference. Even most of the SAM cases we are diagnosing here and referring to NRC here. So after 6 years, the case would be seen by the pediatric OPD and follow up at PM department. The DIC doctor will screen the NICU for, and the SNCU doctors also, they screen congenital heart disease with the help of pulse oximetry. This is the pulse oximeter probe. So the probe is, one is put on the right foot and the other is the right palm or left foot. So all of you know that this, if it is more than 95%, and the difference between the hand and foot is less than 3%, then the baby has passed the test. If it is not passed, it is more than 3% or less than 95%, then we have to go for another 2 tests within 2 hours. And after that, still the baby fails to pass the test, we have to send for a echo, 2D echo, for identifying a critical congenital heart disease. We always send to our cardiologist. We have a dedicated cardiologist in my hospital who always every week, Saturday, he is doing the 2D echoes of most of the cardiac children under RBSK program from the whole state of Orissa. So this is the booklet and the pictorial aid, and given to all the peripheral, these ASAs and these ANMs, and posted in all labor rooms, everywhere. And by seeing them on the left side, it is head and spine, seeing a macrocephaly, a hydrocephalus, or a microcephaly. Every day while giving a ward round, my medical officer, myself, any doubt, we have a head circumference step. We measure the head circumference step for every newborn, any doubt. So we see the encephalocele, encephalomyelocele, spina bifida, so many things. Anything comes under, we take a picture. And today morning, I got a newborn baby having very underdeveloped right mandible. So I have taken the picture on present. I could have put it here also. So I have recorded today also. My data entry operator, she has recorded this. Then comes the eyes, ears, mouth, and lips, which I told about that. All the clefts and all the defects in the ear, microtia, anotia, like that, and any abdomen and the anus also here. Then the genitalia, we are getting maximum cases of hypospadias. At least 40 cases since 2015 we have got. We have recorded, and a few of them have been, the surgery have been done at the ends. And there are some ambiguous genitalia cases also. So, and the limb defect, the extra fingers, extra toes, congenital talipes, echinopara, so many things we are getting. Then the chromosomal anomaly about the Down syndrome, which you can diagnose from the very photograph also. A flat face, depressed nose, and flat chin, everything, and single palmar crease, this rocker bottom feet. So many things are there. From that, you can, just by seeing the picture, this layman can diagnose a Down syndrome. So this pictorial aid we have pasted over all the delivery points. This is the comprehensive newborn screening, visible at all delivery points. This is a book. And this is the pictorial thing that we have to examine from head to toe. Everything from head to toe. If we follow a system, then we won't miss a single thing. So the DIC manager is responsible for evaluating all. She is doing all records, evaluating medical, surgical, all interventions. And also she is in a week, 2 times, she is visiting the AIIMS Bhubaneswar. And any patients of our DIC who are being referred to AIIMS Bhubaneswar, my manager is sincere enough to manage them at the AIIMS also. She is persuading everything, every department. She has to move most of the departments of AIIMS Bhubaneswar. So this is my DIC play area where we manage the cases of neurocognitive delay cases are coming. This is the picture only. This is a sensory integration room. You know, this is for this vestibular sensation, tactile and sensory, all these things are there in my DIC. This is the early intervention room. The baby is there playing with this, and my special educator is busy in thus giving the intervention. Here my physiotherapist, there is a therapy ball doing the neck and the strengthening the neck and the trunk muscles. Also the board is there. The therapy board is there. In the downstairs, he is doing the quadriceps muscles exercise also, my physiotherapist. These are the developmental testing. Left side, my psychologist is doing her job, and the right side also she is doing it. These are the visual acuity testing, and I told that these glasses are being provided by one NGO, Side Savers. He is my audiologist who is doing the OE test in the above the right side. He's doing the OE test, and the below he's doing the BERA test, and in the left side he's doing the therapy. He's giving the speech therapy. 3 children are sitting with him, and also downstairs also he's busy in the speech therapy. These 4 things you see, this is our motto. You know that the parents are very much worried, and particularly these above their ROP cases. We always do a counseling of all parents after each intervention. So after ROP screening, even after the club food management, even after this neuromotor impairment management, everything we do a counseling for the parents. So these are the photographs of the most of the counseling of the parents after all interventions. This is a child of neural tube defect from my SNSU, was operated in AIIMS. This is a cleft lip and palate already operated. It's a Down syndrome case, improved like this. In mostly we give emphasis for a Down syndrome case to regularly check his eye, giving a 2D echo, giving a X-ray of the cervical spine to prevent the subluxation of the C1 vertebra, and all these things we always follow it, because and we do the thyroid test also in this Down syndrome. This is one success story for us. This child came with the club foot. The day of screening was May 2018. The plaster cast was given on May 2018. 3-4 casts were given. After that, in the July, we provided with the shoe. And in September, he came for follow-up, and my orthopedician is sitting over there and doing the follow-up. This was the cardiac screening camp, photograph of cardiac screening camp at Capital Hospital. 2 separate camps. One was done by Narayana Hudala, sometimes by this, they have done 3-4 times also, even by the Satya Sai Institute of Ahmedabad. This is the sensory integration therapy room of my DIC, This is one trampoline is there for the hyperactive child. This is the jumping activities. So now, after finishing everything, I will be coming for a few more slides where I have to give emphasis about the linkage of SNSU with DIC. All of you know that the SNSU dealing with mostly the low birth weight babies maximum, the preterm and the low birth weight. After that comes the birth asphyxia, HIE, and sepsis, and not less than some congenital deformities. At least 40% of these, they experience at least one major morbidity. And recently literature says 50% of the extremely low birth and preterm children or the babies, they develop moderate to severe neurocognitive defects persisting into childhood. Hence, all care providers in SNSU, starting from medical officers, nurses, and our DIC staff, they must be well aware with the developmental interventions to be made in the SNSU. So in practice, we always see a newborn baby, the unique needs of ventilation, baby is taking respiration or not, nutrition is taking or not, is there an infection, give the antibiotic. But we are not very keen about the other part, the developmental part. So there is, for that developmental care, there is a term has come, it is called NIDCAP. NIDCAP, newborn individualized care and program, has to be practiced. It is a very comprehensive care. It is to be observed before the care, during the care, and after the care. Means we have to get some signals from the baby. I have mentioned here, you can see the slide. There are three things. One is called approach, means the baby is happy and ready, is gentle looking, quiet, relaxed, smile and alert. The second baby is coping, means the baby is trying to help him or herself. Baby is attempting to cope with environmental stimuli like a fisting or a grasping hand on face or mouth. Then there is a avoidance. Third type of baby is not happy and needs a change. Baby is either arching, the eyes are floating, is a grimace or frowning. So implementation of this NIDCAP is really difficult. Hence, at least the observation of these signals, these three signals, is very important for all of us. For that, there is a evidence-based intervention are to be tried. Means the noise should be less in the SNSU, which is being practiced in my SNSU also. The decibel in the daytime sound should be less than 45 decibel to prevent the cochlear damage of the newborn babies. In the night, it should be 35 decibel, less than that. The light modification should be there, no extra light over the head of the baby. That cycle lighting will improve the weight gain and low ROP incidence. The positioning, baby to be a nested, there should be a nesting. And the swaddling, it also reduces pain, minimizes the hypothermia, and improves the neuromuscular development. Gentle touch, kangaroo mother care, all of you know, it is being rampantly practiced in all spheres of our health sector. In my SNSU, one bright example for giving the KMC care. And there should be a soft massage, systemic stroking of the infant's body starting from the face, from head to toe. The range of motion of the hand and legs, it improves bone mineralization and daily weight gain. And non-nutritive oral stimulation pacifiers, it helps earlier achievement of the feed. And sometimes my physiotherapist in the DIC also does it by putting a glove and taking some honey and doing the stimulation, non-nutritive oral stimulation to the babies in case of a CP child. And the supplemental stimulation we always give, that is auditory, tactile, visual, and vestibular. So I think these 10, 11 points which are being followed in my SNSU also, these are recent interventions are to be tried after getting the signals. Then to assess, the objective is to assess the growth, neurodevelopmental outcome for early stimulation. We have formulated this mnemonic approach, ABCDEFGHI approach for seeing each SNSU discharge baby. We take the length, weight, and head circumference, do the growth monitoring, plot it on the growth chart so that the sham child or any developmental defect we always identify. Breastfeeding, all of you know, this is a frequency, adequate duration. We always emphasize the parents to do the 4 signs of proper positioning, 4 signs of proper attachment, which is being practiced throughout by NNF. Then the clinical examination of the newborn from head to toe, and always repeatedly. Then while doing the examination precaution, we must do the hand washing. It is 3 times mentioned because that is very, 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 very important. Proper hand washing, all the steps are mentioned, 7 steps. Then the thermal environment, baby must be always keep warm. the light and noise, which I have already mentioned. Then brief examination time. Very soon it should be examined. Should not be made open to the air or the cold. Then this is the exam style from head to toe. I have already mentioned. D for developmental assessment. There are 4 domains, all of you know. The gross motor, fine motor, speech, and personal social. And these are the most milestones. The social smile by 2 months, head control by 4 months, head holding rattle by 6 months, sitting alone by 8 months, standing by 12 months. At least the tone abnormality we should see for it. Then the defects we all you know, still we have already discussed, but by mnemonics you can remember 6C and 1D. 6C, the CNS, neural tube defect, cleft, clubfoot, CDS, congenital cataract, heart disease, 1D is Down syndrome. Then I for, then ROP, the 3 circles, the sclera, this cornea and the people, and we can see all the movements, the squint, all any nystagmus, all that. Amblyopia, this is for the bigger child. Then the family concern, the preterm baby, a dysmorphic baby, and a kangaroo mother care, and the developmental delays and possible issues and their solutions. Then if indicated the growth of pain, we can go for ultrasound, CT scan, MRI, EEG also. And H for need for hearing screening, I for immunization. So each baby getting discharged from SNSU, coming to the DIC, will, if we examine by this mnemonic in this phase, ABCD, EF, GH, I, will never miss any intervention to the newborn baby. So facing parents of developmental delayed child, we always advise them that by doing early, we always convince them by doing early intervention, there will be fewer contractures. In case of this autism and also delayed child, that will improve the cognition, and in motor part, it will improve the more physical strength, and it will give good coordination. We have to emphasize the parents more, because parents are very much worried in those cases, because they don't give a miracle effect for their babies. These are the health conditions, condition-wise, as mentioned, from the inception of my DIC up to September 2021. These are the total cases, and the amount access you can see from the slide. Then the same thing, microcephaly, macro, severe anemia, A deficiency, all these things are mentioned, total cases, and how many cases they have accessed these services. Same thing. These are the all impairments: vision, hearing, neuromotor, motor delay, cognitive delay, all these things. Then another 8 conditions have been included under RBSK, that is this RKS program, Rashtriya Kishori Swasthya Karyakram, the substance abuse, feel depressed, delay in menstrual cycle, irregular period, pain, burning. Of course, this is not under the essential linkage, but this is under RBSK being followed, and in the schools also, in schools, because our team also, they also look after this. So thank you very much. So after this, the summary is, all caregivers like the MO and SNSU in SNSU should be well aware of the advanced intervention to prevent the neurocognitive handicap. All DIC therapists should be involved in intervention for SNSU babies before and after discharge. All the parents of the SNSU discharged babies should be aware of the high-risk clinic as scheduled. Universal newborn screening and hearing screening to be done at all delivery points and postnatal wards by the medical officer, the pediatric specialist, and all the other therapists. Visible birth defects should be identified by ASA, ANM, all paramedical workers in the field from the pictorial book of RBSK. And the clubfoot can be easily diagnosed from the first week of delivery, and the intervention will be mentioned by Panseti method. ROP screening is a must for below 2 kilo and below 34 weeks of baby to prevent blindness, because it is a very good case of a cause of preventable blindness. Similarly, a hypothyroid can be also diagnosed to prevent a mental retardation, preventable causes of mental retardation. So thank you. Discussion closed.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the
Thank you, ma'am.
detailed and informative presentation.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So